Good morning, guys. Ricky here with the Backpacking Scouter. We're getting started this morning. Got kind of an early start. We both kind of woke up early. It's a little chilly this morning, so we were quick to move to get on our feet, start getting moving so we get warmed up. I think this morning was the coldest morning we've had since we started. It was 32 degrees when I got up at 5:30. But still a beautiful little valley here. Getting to follow the creek as we head out. Gonna finish up a portion here. Can't remember now which segment we're on, 18 or 19, I think 19. And then we'll get started on some 20 today. Today we've got kind of a constant uphill climb, but it shouldn't be too steep, so hopefully it'll be nice to our legs. But gonna try to get some more miles in today. We should get close to the trailhead that leads into Creed, I think, by the end of the day, and then we'll have to decide whether or not we want to head up higher to the next pass or call it a night there, or even hitch into Creed and try to find a place to stay. So a lot of things to decide as we go along through the day, but it should be a pretty day. Hopefully here in a little bit we'll hit some sunshine and start warming up just a little bit. But after that, we'll see you guys on the trail. Hey guys, so we made it to camp. Beautiful place, man. Today was just an amazing day. It totally made up for the craziness of yesterday and how hot it was and just being in the sun all day. Today, we were still pretty exposed to the sun, but it was totally such an different environment. We had a mountain creek every half a mile, and so I would just, even though the sun was blaring out, you just take a little bit of water, splash it on my sleeves, on my shirt, and on my head, and you just keep going. And those long moisture-wicking shirts that you typically see me on with during the day just do really well at holding that water, and it just kind of keeps you insulated and cool while you're walking through. So every time I hit a spring, I just splash it up again. And then the views were just amazing, as you guys just saw through some of the clips there. I mean, the day was just great. But we, trucked along. We had a little bit of elevation gain today. I feel it a little bit, not quite as bad as the last few days. Luckily, it seems like one of my ankles that was hurting a little bit is starting to hurt a little less. So I'm looking forward to seeing how I feel in the morning, because I feel a little less sore today. And we ended up doing about 21 miles, 21.66 miles, I believe is what it was. And we ended up with about 5,100 foot of elevation gain. So it was just a lot of up. But the nice thing was the majority of the up was just a slow incline. So it made for a pretty decent day. We did get some steep up and some steep downs, towards the end of the day that really kind of, hurts my ankles a little bit. But we wanted to push forward and get a little bit ahead and add some extra miles for the day. But thankfully we did, because man, we got a beautiful place here. Couldn't think of a better place to camp. We ended up getting well over probably about 12,800, I think is the highest we got. And then we basically kept going and then dropped down about another mile from the top, so that we could come down and get far enough to get out of the winds, and in case there's any weather or anything, which I don't think there's supposed to be tonight. But we managed to find this perfect little grove. It is a little, if I knew that there was going to be some bad weather coming in, I'd be a little more cautious. There's a lot of the pine beetle kills here, but we were able to find a spot that's, not directly under some of those. And so, and we're not really supposed to get tons of, any bad weather mostly throughout the night. So I feel okay where we're at, but it's just beautiful here. We've got, some just awesome sights. There's marmots running around in the hills, along with some chipmunks and other things and stuff to it. But it's just a beautiful day. With that, I'll add my tip for the day. I'm just going to show you guys a little bit about what we do with our food and our equipment, after we set up camp every day. So we get to camp, we set up our tents, we get our sleeping gear and everything set in. And then we basically end up taking my backpack once I've removed all smellables. And I do pretty good about trying to not allow any major smellables to come into contact with my backpack. Anything that's food related typically stays in the food bags that we have, so that they're not going directly into the bag. So once I get all of the stuff out, then I hang the bag up in a tree. And the big reason for that is just to kind of get it away from the like chipmunks and other things that'll, I've had them go at some of the pockets and other things to get the material for nesting and stuff. So I hang them up in a tree, and then I typically put the rain gear over it, just in case we were to get any weather over the night there, to be able to do that. And then we take, for our food, we've got our bear canister, and then I also got an earth sack. And the earth sack is it's supposed to be the new bear-proof bag hang. And so I've been using that this year, but this is my first time really using that. And so I was a little cautious at first, never knowing what was going to happen up in the mountains, with the bears, because you don't hang it like a traditional bear hang. You actually just tie it about head high to a tree, and just make sure there's a limb that'll keep the bear from being able to pull it down. But in theory, or I shouldn't say in theory, I guess there's some science behind it. It's made with a material that will not allow the bear to really get into it. Supposedly, when you do the reviews, it looks like they could potentially puncture it if they really went at it hard enough. But they're not supposed to be able to tear it. It's kind of like a Kevlar type of material that goes on it. And so I've been utilizing that just to be on the safe side. We put all of our like dinner meals, or what I consider our important meals, in the beer canister. And then we set that, and that basically, the beer canister, once you've locked it, all you got to do is kind of wedge it in place somewhere. But we'll take all our food and hang them out, about 100, 200 yards away from camp, depending on the area that we're in, and make sure they're secure for the night. And so that's your tip for today. Outside of that, it's a beautiful night. We're gonna have dinner here in just a second, and just kind of watch the sun go down. Maybe I'll try to do a time lapse or something to add in here for you guys of just the beautiful scenery that we got here. But for those of you that are enjoying watching all of us, like and subscribe so you can get notifications for when the next videos come out. And we will see you guys tomorrow on the trail. Everybody have a good night.